Welcome. Amy and I are honored that you decided to spend a few minutes of your valuable time to learn about the WISeR model, which goes into effect in January 2026. Welcome, Amy. Will you please share the where, what, who, and how about the WISeR model with the Wound Care Today USA subscribers?
Hi, Miss Kathleen. Sure, I will be glad to go over this information with you guys and help you have a better understanding of what is to come in January. Now, in our podcast overview, we're going to cover what is the WISeR model, which states and places of service are part of the WISeR model, what wound and ulcer management procedures and products are in the WISeR model, and what are the WISeR model participants. We'll start with what is the WISeR model? WISeR is a CMS initiative to reduce fraud and waste in traditional Medicare. Prior authorizations and medical review will be done for these services, which leverage enhanced technology with human clinical review. They also ensure timely and appropriate Medicare payment for a select set of items and services vulnerable to fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, the states that are covered under the WISeR model are Arizona, New Jersey, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, and Washington. These are the first 6 states that are in the model right now. There are 4 places of services that are currently part of the WISeR model, which include the ambulatory surgical centers, which has a place of service of 24, home, place of service 12, hospital outpatient department, and the office. Now, what wound and ulcer management procedures and products are in the WISeR model? Now, while there are 17 categories that are identified as susceptible to fraud, waste, and abuse, one service or category pertains to wound and ulcer management procedures and products, and that is the skin substitute grafts, cellular and tissue-based products for treatment of diabetic foot ulcers and venous leg ulcers. Now we're going to cover who are the WISeR model participants. And I just want to clarify for those on listening to the podcast today, participants are the actual contractors for Medicare who are going to be doing our authorizations. It's not the providers. The providers are the ones who are going to submit the authorizations. I know we have some questions in regards to that, and it can be a little confusing, but the participants are the actual contractors for Medicare. So we have 6 participants based on our states and our MAC jurisdictions. We have Texas, who is under Cohere Health, J.H. Novitas. We have Genzion Corporation for New Jersey under J.H. Novitas as well. And Oklahoma under Humana Health Incorporated, J.H. Novitas, and it's Humana, not Humana, so you are not confused. Ohio, VLUs Incorporated, J15CGS. Washington, Vertex Health LLC, JF Noridian. And Arizona, Zyder Incorporated, JF Noridian. Now, the WISeR prior authorization process starts January 1st, 2026, and you can submit your first request January 5th of 2026, and it goes all the way through December 31st of 2031. Now, providers and suppliers have 2 prior authorization options. Option 1, you can submit your prior authorization request directly to the WISeR participant or submit it to your MAC, who will then submit it to the WISeR participant. Now note, these will be valid for 120 days. Option number 2 is to submit your claim without prior authorization request and incur a prepayment medical review. Now, for those who are submitting the request in the future, providers and suppliers who demonstrate records of compliance, you may be exempt from the WISeR review process. Now, submission options for prior authorizations request to the WISeR participants. We have the electronic portal. Now, as of November 28th, the only participant who had a portal registration open for providers and suppliers was Cohere Health. That is subject to change as the other participants update their information on their portals. You can also submit electronic submissions of medical documentation through ESMed, by fax, or by mail. Prior authorization review and claim submission process is as follows. For the prior authorization review, a standard review, you will receive a decision within 3 days. Expedited review, decisions are within 2 days if the health of the patient is at risk. And you can have unlimited resubmissions with peer-to-peer review options. So if the first one does not work, you can request for a peer-to-peer and do a resubmission. Now, once you have your authorization, you need to make sure that your prior authorization UTN, unique tracking number, is on your claims. Claims without prior authorization will automatically undergo a prepayment review. Associated services may be denied if the primary service is denied. Now, we will have a handout resource for you guys that is going to give you links to each of these methods that were given to you during this podcast. So you will be able to find out how to submit through ESMed or through the WISeR participants and who each WISeR participant is based on your MAC in your location. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. Should you have any questions, please send any questions or suggested podcasts to Ms. Kathleen Sham at kathleendssham@gmail.com.